This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. It's like a 10 on my part series, the week that was college football history review, the 1986 college football season. For week 2, let's get into it. Going to start with Virginia Tech versus Clemson. This was September 13th, 1986. This week 2. Virginia Tech beat Clemson 20-14. It took 32 years for Hokies finally to leave Clemson as a winner and reaching 20 points versus occasional rival, first time in a 22-game series. The Tigers of Clemson had entered the season with punting worries as coach Danny Ford had to advertise before finding former high school pitcher, and Tigers baseball player Bill Spires' debut blew up in his face in the first quarter as Virginia Tech got on the scoreboard as safety Mitch Dove recovered a block punt in the end zone for 7-0 lead. Hokies quarterback Eric Chapman quickly became game's dominant player, increasing team's lead to 17-7 in the third quarter on a 5-yard touchdown pass from tight end Steve Johnson. Clemson rushed for 215 yards, scoring both touchdowns on the ground as tailback Terrence Flagler scored from 13 yards out in the second quarter, and tailback Kenny Flowers capped the 80-yard trip in the third quarter to cut deficit to 17-14. Mississippi State beat Tennessee 27-23. Now this was an upset because Tennessee was ranked number 8 at the time as it lost to Mississippi State 27-23. Now brilliant performance by Mississippi State quarterback Don Smith was crowned by winning 62-yard touchdown run with 4:40 left to play in the game. Taking option to left, Smith rushed for 102 yards, kept the ball broken to clear when Volunteers linebacker out to cover running back. So Tennessee quarterback Randy Sanders, who replaced injured quarterback Jeff Francis in the second quarter, had a chance to be late hero, overthrew wide receiver Terrence Cleveland in end zone before suffering an interception. Volunteers wasted effort by tailback William Howard, who moved from fullback to replace injured tailback Keith Davis and bowled his way to 195 yards and 3 touchdowns. Next, Louisiana State beat Texas A&M 35-17. Louisiana State was ranked number 14. It beat number 7, Texas A&M 35-17. As quarterback of LSU Tommy Hudson electrified the home crowd by completing 15 of 22, 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. Texas A&M had controlled ball and building a 14-7 lead on 2 touchdown passes by quarterback Kevin Murray. 5 yards to wide receiver Shea Walker, 13 yards to tight end Rob Bernstein. Tigers defense then stiffened, surrendering only 143 yards, rushing for gain, picking off 5 passes. As linebacker Michael Brooks returned final interception 36 yards to end zone. Wide receiver Wendell Davis had 132 yards receiving and 10 catches formed nice tandem with Hudson. Next, Michigan, the number 3 team in the country, beat Notre Dame 24-23. Notre Dame outgained Wolverines 455 to 393 and never had to punt in this ball game. But still, Lou Holtz became the first Notre Dame coach to lose debut since Elmer Layden in 1934. Quarterback Steve Berline, who broke Fighting Irish career passing yards mark of quarterback Joe Theismann, neatly operated different formations, including a wishbone. However, Irish lost 2 fumbles within Michigan 20-yard line, had interception in end zone, missed field goal, and extra point. Notre Dame, meanwhile, had marched 75 yards on opening drive to wide receiver Tim Brown's 3-yard touchdown run, then took ball to Michigan's 7-yard line on second drive before losing turnover. Michigan took a 24-14 lead by scoring 2 touchdowns in a 6-second span of third quarter. Second following recovery of kickoff that blew away from Irish returners. Berline answered with drives to 9 points. Irish had to settle for kicker John Carney's 23-yard field goal on second trip to cut deficit to 24-23. Michigan quarterback Jim Harbaugh completed a 15 of 23, 239 yards, including a 27-yard touchdown pass to tailback Jimmy Ward, while throwing no interceptions for the 8th straight game. He threw no interceptions, Jim Harbaugh. But for the first time in 22 years, Notre Dame was ranked. For the first time in 22 years, Notre Dame was unranked in preseason, but actually became ranked after losing, which had never happened under the present polling system. Next, Iowa beat Iowa State 43-7. Hayden Fry became tops among Iowa coaches. Fry won his third game with Hawkeyes, passing Forrest Avashevsky for most wins in school history. Quarterback Mark Vlasic helped him achieve that honor, passing for 286 yards with 5 catches for 149 yards, going to wide receiver Jim Morrow. Morrow set the school record for Iowa. Three touchdown receptions by a fullback. David Hudson ran for 120 yards and a 1-yard touchdown run as Hawkeyes gained offensively for 180 yards. Meanwhile, Iowa State gained for about 125 yards, finishing with minus 11 yards net rushing, thanks in large part to 7 sacks. Dropping 4th straight in the series, Cyclone scored sole touchdown on a 21-yard pass from backup quarterback Brett Sadak to wide receiver Eddie Brown in the 4th quarter. Next, we got Texas and Stanford. Stanford beat Texas 31-20. Longhorns could not cover wide receiver Jeff James, who had 9 catches for 162 yards and held. Wait a minute. Paid for it with first loss and home opener since 1966. Quarterback John Pay threw for 241 yards, hooked up with James with 3 touchdowns, including passes of 56 yards, 45 yards at Stanford. Took a 14-0 lead. By third quarter, Cardinal led 31-9. Texas quarterback Brett Stafford set school records for completions, 20 attempts, 41, but threw 3 interceptions. So teams combined for 229 yards and penalties. Fred Akers had won his first 21 September games as Texas coach. Fred Akers won his first 21 September games as Texas head coach. Next, we got Washington, number 17 team in the country. They beat number 10, Ohio State, 40-7. First time since way back in 1894, the Ohio State Buckeyes opened with 2 losses as they allowed 24-point bonanza in second quarter, with 21 points coming in 3-minute span that blew game open. Quarterback Chris Chandler led Huskies offense that compiled 408 yards to 186 yards advantage. Chandler threw 2 touchdowns to wide receiver Lonzel Hill, son of former NFL receiver J.D. Hill. Quarterback Jim Casados threw for only 85 yards, 9 yards of which came on Buckeyes' only touchdown pass, which was a pass to wide receiver Chris Carter. So Jeff Jager, the kicker, kicked 2 field goals, 4 extra points, and enabled him to set Washington's all-time scoring mark of 275 points. Finally, we got Colorado and Oregon. This was the highest scoring game, a barn burner, where Oregon beat Colorado 32-30. The Ducks of Oregon one wild finish as teams combined for 16 points within the last 4 minutes, with Oregon tallying touchdown and field goal in final minute. The quarterback Mark Hatcher gave Buffaloes a 30-23 lead with a 55-yard scoring run. Quarterback Chris Miller drove Ducks to tie it touchdown on a 1-yard run by tailback Derek Lovell. When Ducks' 2-point try failed, Oregon safety Tim Cooper pounced on onside kickoff. Miller quickly threw into field goal range. And kicker Matt McLeod delivered winning 35-yard field goal. McLeod tied Oregon school record with 4 field goals, as did Miller for completions. So that concludes a look at week 2 for September 13th, 1986. The week that was college football history review, the 1986 college football season for week 2. Games that I played on September 13th, 1986 for week 2. Let's get into the AP poll. September 15th, you got number 20 Notre Dame, 19 UCLA, 18 Arizona State, 17 Arizona, 16 Texas A&M, 15 Florida State, 14 Georgia, 13 Florida, 12 Arkansas, 11 Brigham Young, 10 Auburn, 9 Baylor, 8 Louisiana State, 7 Washington, 6 Nebraska, 5 Penn State, 4 Alabama, 3 Michigan, 2 Miami, and number 1 Oklahoma. So that concludes a look at week 2 for September 13th, 1986, the week that was college football history review, the 1986 college football season. Please like, subscribe, comment on the channel, do a video of Smag 2 tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.